Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Translation Studies and Training, SOTST, Master's Degree Programs. Master of Arts, Translation Studies, MATS English. First year. MTT 016 Translation and Mass Communication. Block-1 Role of Translation in Modern Mass Communication. Unit-2 New Media and Translation. 2.0 Objectives. After reading this unit, you will be able to explain what is new media and the role of translation in new media. Explain what convergence is and its role in mass communication and effective communication. State the characteristics and challenges of new media and computer processed translation. How human process translation has been pushed back by computer processed translation and also explain its effect. 2.1 Introduction. There are many methods of information and communication studies, such as the history of institutions and companies, events and creative works, history of technology, use and practice, which are related to the general public and its functions of leisure. In this process, we will discuss questions related to new media, including information and communication technology, the emergence and development of information and communication technology, and the use and development of information and communication technology in the media, the context of leisure and the relationship of the above developments to society. In addition, we will try to find out the difference between new media and communication and its relation to translation. We will also discuss the impact of communication, for example, on the debate surrounding the social technology approach adopted by many sociologists of science and technology. Computer process translation is very much in practice nowadays. You must have seen people using the Google Translate tool, translation software. Computer processed translation has also come to be known as computer-assisted translation. In this method, translation is done through computer software, not directly by humans. It is part of machine translation which deals with computers and software and is studied as a subject of computational linguistics. They understand the process and method of translating the text of one language into the text of another language by using computer software and create scope for further improvement by its use and new technological development. 2.2 General Overview, New Media, History and Emergence. What is new media? New media refers to high digital technology, modern computer system. It also refers to the merger or convergence of several traditional and modern media technology forms, print, radio, and television, and the study of electronic communication within the subject in general, new media. Due to technological development and expansion of events, our communication system has been completely shaken and transformed. It has changed the way we think, we socialize, educate, entertain and gather information. Convergence is the result of the discovery of the Internet and the World Wide Web, invented in 1989. It has brought all the three media formats to a common platform on the World Wide Web. www, where print form, video form and audio form have been included in one website. This increase in technology has taken communication to many levels. For example, as a result of new media, commenting and reinvestment have taken the form of blogs, mobile and micro-blogging via Blogger, Orkut, Facebook, and Twitter. The level of interaction has been stirred. Technology helped make communication easier and faster. The process compacted the world. Then there was a need to create a linguistic tool that could elevate technology above linguistic differences and make communication effective. Hence, the need for translation arose. However, when large amounts of data are to be transmitted rapidly, the translation process must proceed at the same speed. Otherwise, the technology will become less effective. Therefore, instead of relying on human translators, it became necessary to develop computer software that could translate. In other words, the era of the computer movement helped spur rapid machine-assisted translation. This process of translation operated with the help of computer, which was called computational translation. The discovery of low-cost, powerful computers led to significant advances in machine translation. Translation transformed mainframe computers into personal computers and workstations. Websites like AltaVista's Wobblefish and Google language tools also started being available for this task. 2.2.1 History of the Internet. Having discussed new media and its role in translation, let us turn to the history of the Internet. This will help us to show the logical importance of translation in new media. As discussed earlier, new media was a method of communication facilitated by the Internet and the World Wide Web. Like other developments in communication, the Internet was originally intended to streamline and strengthen the National Military Security Information Network of the League of Nations. Was developed as a device. It is believed that ARPANET, the progenitor of networks, was designed so that the the Army could maintain the communication system during the Soviet invasion. In fact, the network had far-reaching and direct objectives. It was to establish direct links with the computing departments of American universities, which at that time were working for ARPA, the Advanced Research arm of the Department of Defense of the League of Nations. Telecom companies, and attended in particular, refused to build this new data network. So it was designed by computer experts who had a new approach to computing, which was suitable for communication between two machines. This computer-mediated communication was fundamentally different from the IBM centralized and sequential computing method or the telephone network. From the outset, ARPANET was a highly decentralized network that was locked at the university gate. This technological advance in communications largely left room for each computing site to organize itself by customizing hardware and software and creating its own local area network, LAN. There was a constraint of volume connecting to the interface. It was also necessary to organize the work to develop networks in favor of these technical choices of decentralization. A company associated with DPS, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, was entrusted with the task of building the network. This company has had no technical problems exchanging data beyond the interface, knowing that they are responsible for the university. Similar to the time allocation method developed by IBM, especially where terminals from the central computer lived in master-slave mode, ARPANET computers were located side by side with the terminal. ARPANET was combined and launched by ARPA Usenet, which was formed as an offshoot and later became the Internet. It was developed in collaboration with the Research Center and was not related to ARPANET. Usenet did not have its own finances. The administrators of this system were computer scientists who contributed on a voluntary basis, creating space on their hard disks to record the news. It was transmitted by telephone. The second half of the 1970s, the Internet was formulated in the form of an Internet work architecture, a meta protocol for the interaction of networks built on different principles. The idea of an open architecture provides complete autonomy to each network. Since the meta protocol only manages the interaction between networks, each network can maintain its own way of doing things. In the long run, the Internet has no central autonomy. Internet society is just a cooperative coordination structure. Proposed applications on ARPANET or on the Internet, email, news groups, database sharing and, later, the World Wide Web, were proposed by many manufacturers that could be used by anyone. Decentralization and open access Internet was originally built from the educational work of its founders. Later, when the method of communication was made for the general public, they were made on a large scale. The network is still not managed by a single operator, and a great deal of software, especially browsers, roams freely on the web, at least in its core form. The development of new media as a strong communication medium is mainly due to the technological and industrial development around the world during the decade of 1990s. Then this medium became globally accepted as a medium of communication. In other words, they have not yet emerged as full-fledged mass media tools. Nevertheless, the 1990s brought a major movement in the world of communications, what we call the information age. The four pillars of this new information age are glass, fiber, microelectronics, digital systems and software. This era has given us new methods of communication such as email, facsimile, fax, internet, telegraph, VoIP, voice over internet protocol, video calling, video telephone, teleconferencing, etc. 2.2.2 Internet boom, boost and resurgence. You must have known how the internet has evolved over time. This opened up a large number of internet companies and websites, which are commonly known as .com companies. The combination of rapidly rising share prices and market confidence has propelled companies towards profits in the future. Individual speculation in the stock market and widely available speculative capital created an environment in which people moved away from traditional businesses to invest in technological advancements. .com was primarily a speculative bubble, with a boom period from the mid-90s to 2000 in which the stock market saw high prices in industrialized countries in the area of development of the internet and related sectors, while the latter saw rapid growth of the internet, which is known as internet boom. By 2001, this bubble burst rapidly. Many .com companies went out of business after losing their risk costs. Many never even turned a profit. Investors jokingly referred to these failed .com companies as .bombs or even .shells. Examples of new media communication technology. Here are some contemporary new media communication technologies related to mass communication and interpersonal communication. Wiki. The word wiki means fast in the Hawaiian language. A wiki is an online resource that allows users to add and edit content collectively. With the help of hypertext, web pages stored in a wiki can be operated and edited by anyone. The truth is that if someone edits, cuts or changes the subject matter in it, it becomes a collective work of many articles. This informational type of website is called Wikipedia. It is a research resource like encyclopedia or database which is comprehensive in terms of range of subjects. The English language Wikipedia has the most users and is in the top 20 of all websites in the business. On the other hand, there are also glossaries of many topics that can be freely structured by wiki correspondents in the category, such as through WetPaint and Wikidots. Blog. Blog is short for weblog. It is a type of online magazine. They are known by the name WordPress, Blogger, Typepad and LiveJournal and Squarespace. A blog can have one or many authors. Most blogs solicit reader reviews on a single article, but some do not. Blogline is an RSS reader, a service that curates links from your favorite blogs so you can read them all in one place. Microblog. This is a cross between social messaging and blogging. Twitter is a microblogging method that allows the sending of short messages, an informational update of 140 characters. User can follow updates of selected friends. Digital storytelling. Digital storytelling combines mass communication with the traditional techniques of television, video production, radio, newspapers and magazines through contemporary multimedia tools to inform and entertain: text, moving pictures, sound, music, etc. They are script-driven, unconcerned with strong verbal expression, such as the voice of the narrator. Social network. Social networking site where users can create their own profiles, create formal relationships with people they know, exchange communications and preferences, and share their interests with Facebook. Earlier it was limited to college students. Now Facebook users include people from all walks of life. MySpace is another social network site where users can identify themselves, communicate and share their preferences and interests by building relationships with people they know. Conversion tools. There are many useful new conversion and building tools appearing on the web. For example, free online PDF converter and document creator. The second is Wixi. which provides free service to convert YouTube videos to MP4 files, and VideoBox, which converts all video sites very fast in Flash. There are many free web tools such as Webmaster Tools, Toolbox and HTML Tools. Podcasts. A list of many podcasts can be found on the podcast station and also on Podcast Alley and Digital Podcasts and Podcast Central. You can copy podcasts from iTunes. Writing community. Writing has been around since the 4th century BC and publication has been around for hundreds of years. New technology has allowed people to create previously ready-made, rapid and persistent writer communities. Notable among them is Lulu. These low-cost, on-demand publishers allow you to disseminate your ideas to a larger author community. Digital scrapbooking, also called DG scraping or computer scraping, digital scrapbooking uses computers and graphics software to create visual layouts for storage in memory. Stamps. Photos onto scrapbooker paper as well as handwritten journals and many miniature decorative items and memorabilia such as sticker buttons and ribbons. Digital scrapbooking uses digital photos, clips, and graphic textures as embellishments. Its ultimate objective is the preservation of memory. Digital scrapbooks can be printed for layout albums or left as computer files or exchanged via web pages or email. These types of software are Peekaboo and Smilebox and two-piece in bucket and memory mixer. Internet calling. The internet calling service Skype is reminiscent of the telephone. It supports two-group audio and video conversations and also multi-group integration. Computer-to-computer to landline or mobile phone calls can also be made through Skype. Yahoo Voice is an internet calling service that has the ability to assign phone numbers to your computer so that calls can be made from landlines and mobile phones. Yahoo Messenger has computer-to-computer calls, and calls can also be made from computer to other phones. Rich media. Rich media is not a media technology in itself, but a new technology used in advertising business and creating web content for advertising. This means advertising on a web page, which includes interactive elements, allows for participation by active users on the website. These types of interactive advertisements are called interactive media. More than just stationary banners containing simple GIF animations, digital files that contain new rich media ads include more graphics, animations, audio, streaming video, applets that allow user interaction, especially multimedia effects, hypertext, pull-down menus, and more. They use advanced technologies such as Flash, Shockware, Java, JavaScript and the HTML. You could say they look like television commercials, unlike commercials that have static images and text. Professionals see new advertising creation formats in rich media, while new media are new delivery vehicles, seeking to increase their reach to new and different consumer segments. 2.3 Computer Processed Translation. An overview. Now we understand how technology has helped us and changed our lives. It has promoted speed and accuracy and exchanged a large amount of information. Computer processed translation is a broad term that includes software and hardware tools. For example, it may include grammar modifiers or spelling modifiers as we see in Microsoft Word. Anyone who has used word processing software such as Microsoft would surely have noticed that red or green underlines appear under words. Vocabulary management is a tool that allows translators to create their own vocabulary bank in electronic form. This can be done by creating a simple table in Translator word processing software or by creating a spreadsheet database in FileMaker Pro or with other special powered software packages like Logiterm, Multiterm, Termex. All these are machine translation software, etc. By use it also includes dictionaries on CD-ROM. Monolingual or bilingual. System machine translation is mostly self-propelled or computer-processed translation. But they allow human users in conflicting cases. This is also called human-processed translation. 2.3.1 Computer Processed Translation, a historical approach. Let us now take a look at computer processed or machine translation. The history of machine translation goes back to the 17th century when philosophers such as Leibniz and Descartes proposed codes that linked words to languages. All these proposals were theoretical but later proved to be milestones in the development of machine translation. The first patent for machine translation first appeared in the mid-1930s. The first was an automated dictionary using paper tape by painter George Astroni, and the second was a bilingual dictionary by Peter Tronsky with the ability to aid in word correction and grammar correction. This tool came to be known as Esperanto. The method worked in three parts: the first, logically collecting the source languages; the second, translating these into the target language; and the third, normalizing this output in the target language for a vernacular editor. This plan of his remained unchanged till 1950. After 1950, understanding about computers increased and a lot of research work started. With this, the machine translation process came into existence. In 1954, more than 60 Russian sentences were automatically translated. In this experiment, 49 Russian sentences containing 250 words were translated into English. This experiment was called the Georgetown experiment. This experiment was done in the office of IBM, which was publicized in detail, which increased a lot of public interest in it. The Georgetown experiment was a major breakthrough in the world of machine translation. This ushered in a new era of machine translation. This gave rise to the idea that the era of machine translation was coming. This experiment not only inspired the United States of America to work on this field, but also attracted the attention of the whole world. This inspired research in the field of machine translation. Advances in computer technology in the 1980s increased computational power and made the technology less expensive, and statistical models of translation were discovered. In early days, this method used huge dictionaries and handwritten word sequences as the final output. Later on, the operation method was implemented, which to some extent could stabilize the said problem to a level. The United States Air Force introduced such a method developed by IBM, and the Atomic Energy Commission introduced a method developed by Georgetown University. However, both methods had results. Yet for some, the method was good in terms of speed. The main problem with this method was the contradictory double-meaning words. For example, the word pen can have two meanings. The first meaning is something with which you write something, and the second meaning is some kind of box. Yehoshua Bar Hillel, an inventor, claimed that without a universal encyclopedia, a machine could never solve such a problem. Today, the problem of double-meaning contradiction can be solved by writing the source language text in a controlled language in which each word has only one original meaning. Yet today we do not have any translation method that can provide high-quality automatic translation text. Many methods of high computational technology have been developed. Many of them are available on internet web resources like Google Translate. They give useful results under strict restrictions. Similarly, Systron is also a system that supports translation online at Yahoo and UltraVista.com. The field of machine translation has seen many changes over the years. Today a considerable amount of research is being done on computational machine translation, statistical machine translation, SMT, and example-based machine translation, EBMT. Currently, only a few companies are engaged in statistical machine translation, SMT, in a commercial way. Uses languages, sells web translation products and services. Google Incorporated. Some use the method on Google Language Tools for language matching, use Microsoft proprietary statistical mount method for translation of knowledge-based articles, and some provide statistical mount-based field-optimized machine translation solutions with linguistic knowledge. There has been a new interest in the field of hybrids, research into statistical methods combining sentence and form, as well as research into rule-based methods combined with statistics. All these researches are opening new directions in the field of translation. Machine translation is expected to revolutionize translation and knowledge convergence in the coming decades. 2.3.2 Machine Translation Techniques. Translation memory software. Translation memory programs store previously translated source texts and their corresponding target texts in a database and retrieve the processed fragments into new text when translated. Such programs broke the source text into systematic units called sections. The source text, sentence or sentence, unit, heading or list element, can be considered as clause. Texts can be broken down into larger units such as paragraphs or short phrases. The translation works through the document, and the software in turn maps each source segment and provides pre-translations for reuse, and sees whether the program matches the source segment in its database. If not found, the program allows the translator to translate the new segment. After completing segment translation, the program stores the new translation and moves to the new segment. In the dominant paradigm, a translation memory is, in principle, a database of topics that contain source language segments, last accessed, translator names, etc. Other translation memory approaches do not involve database creation, but instead rely on an alignment reference document, such as STL-TRADE. Some translation memory programs operate in a standalone environment, while others function as add-ons or macros to commercially available word processing or other commercial software programs. Add-on programs allow source documents from other formats, such as desktop publishing files, spreadsheets, or HTML code, using TM programs. Language search engine software. Language search engine software is new to the translation industry. It is a type of internet-based method which works like internet search engine. In fact, language search engines are a vast collection, rather than searching the internet, which uses the translation memory to retrieve previously translated sentence segments such as phrases, full sentences, or even complete paragraphs that match source document segments. Linguistic search engines are built on top of state-of-the-art technology to conduct searches based on source terms, ensuring that search results exactly match the meaning of the source segments. Like traditional TM tools, the value of a language search engine is based entirely on the translation memory store it searches against. Vocabulary management software. Vocabulary management software provides an automated means for the translator to use it to search for words in a document that already exist in a vocabulary database, either automatically displayed in the translation memory software interface or by using hotkeys to look up entries in the vocabulary database. Happens for some programs have other hotkey combinations that allow the translator to add word pairs to the vocabulary database while translating. Some advanced methods also provide the ability for the translator to check, either interactively or in batch mode, if the correct source/target word sets have been used outside or inside the translation memory block in a given project. Alignment software. The alignment program takes into account the full translation. It splits the source and target texts into segments, and tries to determine which segment corresponds to the topic, creating a translation memory database. Many alignment programs allow the translator to add the differences themselves. The popular methods in a 2006 Imperial College survey are Deja Vu, OYGT, STLX, now merged with Trados, Star Transit, WordFast, which shows that computer process translation tools have changed a lot, but when using these tools for translation, the translation results obtained from them should be analyzed carefully. 2.4 New Media and Convergence. Let us now briefly focus on new media and interactions driven or influenced by them. Internet allows every user/person to act as a media. That means every person/user can open their own website. Similarly, every user can write their experiences and comments on any website and increase communication. New media is a type of mixed media that allows active participation by the user, hence it is called interactive media. This is a major difference between new media and traditional media. The field of human-computer interaction deals with interactivity and design in digital media. Other fields that are closely related to interactive media are new media, interactive advertising, and video game production. Traditional analog electronic media and print media are called interactive media. It is sometimes misconstrued as distinct from digital media, which is not correct. It has opened up important possibilities for interaction through the internet and has also increased the availability of digital interactive media. Still, face-to-face communication language will formally fall under the category of interactive media. Interactive media is created by information designers. Like other media, they believe in communication only. For example, computer games are visual, acoustic and dynamic communication systems between the game and the player. In mobile conversation, the communication takes place between two persons and is prima facie acoustic. In favor of continuous availability, subscription of mobile phones and short message services, SMS, are also part of interactive media, also known as mobile telephony. According to media theory, there is a need to understand and study the cultural impact of new media and the changes coming due to it. 2.5 New media versus mass communication. In the previous sections, we have discussed the role of new media and translation. In this section, we will discuss how new media has made a difference in the field of communication at large. The role of translation in communication has been established. Be it any form of communication media, be it print, radio or television media, broadcasting, telecasting, podcasting, narrowcasting, or new media. Convergence. Communication is necessary not only for all these media but also for survival in this universe. Human communication is as old as humanity itself. If we go into the history of communication, we will find that communication between humans started 35,000 years ago through various types of signal medium. Communication through writing developed about 7,000 years ago. 2.5.1 Understanding communication. Communication starts with the person. Since communication takes place between two or more persons, it is called intrapersonal communication. Similarly, when communication starts in two pairs, then it is called interpersonal communication. As communication progresses to the next level of society, within the family or group, it is still referred to as group communication. It is said group communication between corporate, email, internet, panchayat, etc. level communication. Mass communication reaches the upper strata of the society. Technically, it is believed that communication spreads throughout society and reaches the general public. Mass communication in social organizations is possible only in some cases, and even the modern tools of mass communication like radio and mass media fail to achieve this. When mass communication becomes less and one way, then very modern and new popular communication form new media comes in front of everyone. Mass communication takes place in a different way in social organizations. Communication in society mainly takes place at the group or interpersonal level. Mass communication reaches out to all the members of the society, yet it sometimes fails. It can be said that its potential has not yet been realized due to social differences and inequalities. However, due to its universal appeal, ubiquitous nature and rapid access, its potential for further growth cannot be ruled out. Capabilities and possibilities are difficult to quantify because of its appeal to all groups, age, education class, social status and gender differences. An instant appeal. 2.5.2 New media versus mass communication. Mass communication serves millions of people who seek information on a wide range of subjects and matters. Through broadcasting, information is conveyed to the concerned people. Broadcasting can be defined as a form of audio or video distribution that transmits a program to a listener. The audience may be the general public or a relatively small audience such as children or youth. However, the term broadcast originally refers to the process of sowing seeds by spreading or dispersing them, a term that was adopted by some engineers in the past. Broadcasting targets a wider group of population. When used in the context of new media, it appears that this medium can be successful in bidirectional communication on a large scale. It refers to a situation where both the listener or the client are participating in the process of communication. New media provide a better platform for this communication process by providing written notes, comments and feedback. Blogging and microblogging such as Blogger, Facebook and Twitter have become very popular in this era. This website has been very successful in presenting people's views. For example, Facebook was used by Obama in the election of the President of the United States of America. In India too, the new media platform of Internet is being used by many media organizations and non-profit organizations as a form of public dialogue on civil society is also being involved. This new platform of new media is gradually becoming more widespread. In a country as large as India, the penetration of Internet and new media is relatively low. In a 2009 survey, only 4% of the population had access to the Internet or a new media or multimedia device, but the numbers and services are increasing. That is why new media have been successful in creating people's participation in the field of communication to a level like radio and television but have failed in large-scale communication like in the field of mass communication. 2.6 Let us sum up. Today the Internet has reached a revolutionary stage in the history of information and communication. But the network of networks is also a particularly interesting case because it's getting us access to everything. This is a possible form of digital networks in general. This is the result of the long history that spread this network. The initial election was basically a representation of the heroes who dreamed of a free, universal and stepless network of communication. It was the same utopia that the media spread in the 1990s. In contrast, the proliferation of new technology created a centralized model combining the open model pioneered by microcomputing and main computers in the corporate world. The Internet combines many means of information and communication at home and abroad. It is a way for interpersonal and group communication in virtual groups, but also a new medium for multi-source information. But this polymorphic information and communication tool also does harm by creating a separation between business and private spheres. This or that makes it easier to work at home and sometimes even at work to pay attention to personal things. Radio and television, on the one hand, and the telephone, on the other, have increasingly standardized economic and media formats. The Internet has been fundamentally diverse. This is one of the main characteristics of diversity. As a result, the Internet cannot be integrated into economic models or communication forms. It is not a medium but a method, which is developing day by day and is moving towards translating the society and making it a virtual copy. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel for more updates, and we will see you with the next chapter.